Today's plan is the Juno Museum. However, after the storm that rolled in last night, I think the weather has got other plans. Rough night's sleep last night. Storm rolled in probably about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock maybe. And the van's been rocking in the wind. I'm glad I'm not the vans down there because they're side on. It looks like it might be in for the day. See how it goes, monitor it. I've checked the weather app and it does look like it's in for the day, but yesterday was meant to be a bit of a drizzly day as well, and that ended up being a sunny day, so it might pass. Or it's just come in late. And like I say, the plan is to get down to the Juno Beach Museum. On hindsight, I wish I'd done that yesterday now. Oh dear. Because I still got to get the bike out. I'm riding this just to get to the museum. I mean, I could walk down. Either way, I'm going to get absolutely soaked. The umbrella's going to be useless out there just because of the wind. So for now, I'm going to have my cup of coffee and hope the skylights all stay attached. But it is what it is. Not a lot I can do about the weather right now. The weather seems to be only going to get worse. I'm on a grass sand pitch and I know what that can cause. So before it gets too soft, I'm going to try and look for somewhere else to stay because this area is just going to get battered all night. And not only that, you do get a pre-warning with this campsite as well. A flood warning. So if it comes over the loudspeakers that they believe there's going to be a flood, everyone's to leave their units and then make their way out. One, I don't want to leave the van. Two, it could get stuck if I let the ground get too wet, which is maybe too late, I don't know. But others have pulled off and I think, you know, the campsite is emptying out. So it's making me feel a bit uneasy, especially with flood warning signs in your pack. That means this area could flood. Yeah, we've got thunderstorms and heavier rain later. So I'm now, for the stop I was going to tomorrow, I'm going to find somewhere in between, which means I'll have to leave the Juno Beach Museum on this one. But I've had a good look around the area. It means I can come back with Jodie sometime, which would be nice. But yeah, I'm not taking that risk of getting stuck. I need to be back in the UK on Wednesday. So yeah, right, I'm going to crack on and then I suppose I'll let you know where I end up if I do get off the pitch. Decision made, so I now know where I'm going. I'm going about an hour odd away. It should take me into a bit of better weather, but it's a bit more, less open. I'm pretty open. We got the beach behind us. It's rocking the van like I don't know what, and it's going to get worse. So while I can, let's go to Honfleur. Right, service is done pretty quick. We're off. We should arrive by midday, which actually ain't too bad. So Honfleur, it's on the route home. Like I say, only an hour away. The weather itself, it's not the greatest, but you're a bit more sheltered and not on sand. Trouble is being on sand, this weight of vehicle, you know, it won't be long and then you'll be stuck. So Honfleur's got 180 spaces. It does get quite busy, so we'll see. I mean, I know it's unfortunate and maybe in hindsight I should have done the Juno Museum yesterday. I didn't bother checking the weather because it was so nice. And then that just came in. I did check it was meant to be like a bit cloudy yesterday, but that was fine. So that gives me somewhere to go again, because the campsite's all right, actually. It's not so bad, but it gives me somewhere to go with Jodie. Now, let's just hope I made the right decision. Driving a big van in the wind, I can feel the wind obviously hitting the van right now. However, it's nowhere near as bad as it was when we was on the site. You had a dune there, protecting you a little bit, but yeah, if I was facing side on into that wind, then it would have been even worse. It's funny, even leaving the area, I feel a bit sad. But, you know, and we're coming out of the D-Day areas now, going back home. but I do feel like I've achieved a lot. Yeah, if you've got wheels, just move, because I wouldn't have been settled there. I would have just been worrying all night and then wish I'd moved. That am I going to get off that pitch? I was just thinking there, now I've left, the weather is actually brightening up, which is nice. I was getting too many triggers for staying there. I can't feel trapped. And I had all the fear of feeling trapped, worrying about how strong the wind is and everything like that. I mean, that's even why I got 2 sat-navs really, is because I need to be getting out of a situation. And before it built up too much, I had to take action. So the action was to move. As you can see, it's still cloudy, but it's lighter now. They were black clouds at the other place. And the wind don't seem that bad. I can feel it a little bit, but not as powerful as it was on the Juno Beach. Just like that, I have arrived. The sky don't look as mean. It even sounds still out there, where the wind is a lot lower. So yes, I lost 10 euros from that campsite, but I feel better now I've moved. I can't remember how much this one costs. You do get a ticket on the way in, so I will find out how much it costs for you, and obviously give you a map of everything and where I am. So Honfleur, 180 spaces, there's all your service points and everything for the motorhome. They have got 5 amp electricity if you need it as well, so it's an ideal stop, and it's normally pretty safe that you're going to get a space here. It is quite big. There's a lot of motorhomes here, but there's still loads of spaces left. So ideal. So what I'm going to do is grab some lunch, and then I'm going to head out and explore a bit more of Honfleur and check out this aire, because I've seen they've resurfaced it and everything. So yeah, it looks a lot better than it did in the past. So let's go and have a little look and see what's going on Honfleur. Some parks here, just right opposite there. Ideal. Like I say, all the motorhomes go all the way around there as well. So, and that's the electric point. Just behind there, you plug in. Obviously, I'm telling you not to use big units because it's only 5 amps. As you can see, it goes all the way over there. You've got your drop there, and that's spots over there. But yeah, so I'm tucked in here, but they've got all this new surface down, so it's a lot better. Yeah, massive spot, so you never get stuck. And to be fair, you never really get stuck in France anyway. I just didn't like the fact that, as we know, I was on the grass pitch with sandy as well, so I weren't taking that risk. But I'm going to head over into Honfleur, little harbour bit. Right, very easy system then. You can either pay by cash or card. Just scan your QR code. Let's see if there's tariffs. 24 hours is 15 euros. Actually, that's not bad. And all your bins and stuff on the way out. Ideal, really. But yeah, you've got a lovely stroll up that way. And if you do go up that way, you've got some restaurants. There's a Lidl up that way. I'm going to head over that way today. So me and Jodie did film this around 2 years ago. I'm sure it was 2 years ago. May have been 3. I don't think it was 1. And with that, you sort of forget what it's like in the area until you come back, and then you remember instantly and everything's the same. But it's quite nice and settling today because after the sleep I had last night. But look at the difference in the weather. Massive difference. I think last time we was here, we had a big cruise ship type thing in there. Look at that for a big wheel. So I'm going to walk on this side because I'm wondering if you can get over, and I want to see the big wheel. Now, likelihood of me going on it is slim because that's a big one. But there is some shops and stuff over there as well. If I remember rightly though, they're not that cheap. So it could be best to go to Lidl's around the corner. Sheer size of that. And you can tell by how big the cars are and compared to that. It's massive. It looks empty. I think we can get over this bridge. It is actually a fishing town, an old fishing town, harbour town. There always seems to be something going on here. So it is a nice place to stop at, really, because there's enough activity that you're not going to get bored. And considering the motorhome's just over there, it's literally right on the doorstep, so it's ideal. Jolly France. There's quite a few boats here, actually. Looks like you can take a boat trip here. There you go. There's information on that boat down there. So, Point de Normandy. 145 places. Okay, so it basically just goes around the big bridge, which you can't see from here, but we're very close to it. And that's the Normandy Bridge. 18 euros. To be fair, today, and the way I'm feeling, it makes a nice change. And it don't look too busy, which is even better for me. Last time we were here, there was a market on. I'm not sure if the market's on all the time, but it looks like there is something happening down there. Now, this Ferris wheel is always here. Well, it has been for the last few years anyway. I think what we do is we go round this port here, back up. I didn't notice this building last time I was here. It's a hotel. Thought it was some official building with all the flags flying. It's Sunday today as well. So, obviously no one's at work. So they should all be out enjoying themselves. And what a difference in the weather, eh? Still can't get over that. Just looking at the buildings, they're all different, but yet got their own uniqueness. Go all the way around this harbour, but look how high they go. I mean, how many stories up? Put it in the comments if you know, were that like individual houses at one point, or they've been flats or something like that. Thought I'd take a little walk down here, but it looks like more of a traditional type building. Even these ones lean forward slightly, just like in the Netherlands. But oh yeah, pretty old buildings, aren't they? I wonder when they date back to. You've got the old cobble street here as well. Wow. All traditional in there. It's a lovely place for seeing streets like this. I mean, these buildings must have been sitting here for years. A few more shops than that up here. So the destination I'm going to after this one is around 2 hours away now, not 3. So I have headed in that direction. So I'm now wondering, do I stay here for 2 nights and explore this a bit more? Now I have been here before, or do the 2 nights in my next location. So if you go down this side, all this is all lined with restaurants and stuff. So Honfleur was actually occupied by the Germans and was later liberated 25th of August 1944. It was one of the last Lower Normandy places to be liberated. Oh, look at this, wow. They like donuts, so they look really good. And pies. Seems to have a lot of these sort of shops as well, like whiskey and sweets and stuff together. Well, it's all fenced off here now, so it looks like they're working on that part. What they're doing, not sure. So I'm sort of getting guided around the streets now, which is nice because you can take in all the different buildings, and it's nice and quiet up this top end actually. Well, I don't know where it led me, but I may have gone off course a little bit. It seems to be rather empty here, so can't be in the right area for anything. There is just streets after streets, so there's loads to explore here. Oh, look, that's where washing clothes and stuff. So is that like a natural spring water type thing? I wonder. If it ain't, then they kept the taps running. That looks very modern. Now I wonder if it's just a facelift on the outside. I think I'm getting lost. Oh, do you know what? I think it's blocked off up here as well. I ain't got a clue what they're doing. Yep, blocked off there as well. And I don't fancy sitting down having something to eat. So I'm going to go all the way back around there to get to the other side there. You can hear Dancing Queen in the background. That is not me. So yeah, it's blocked there. So I've had to go all the way back round. Just want to check out this building again. See, this stands out quite a bit. So it must have had some importance back in the day. If not, still has. I think we have looked at it before. There's some information on it up there. Look. 3rd of September 1899. Look at that building, that's on a tilt. Right, left or right? I think you can go either and come back round anyway, so let's go up first. Just full of beautiful streets, isn't it? Very unique. The thing is, with places like this, you just can't take your eyes off of anything. You blink and you miss something. Found an alleyway. There was nothing really going up the top, so I'm come down here, a bit uneven stairs, onto the cobbled street. And I think this will be the lower part through here. Yeah, it's a little bit more open down this end. I think I'm going to go back that way. Oh, come back out to here now. It does look like you've got things to see down there, but you can't get access to that. That usually got a market round near that. I'm assuming that's a museum. For me though, today's been one of them days. I'm starting to feel better about everything, which is good. Very Gothic looking, isn't it, that church? I think you can get round to the market, actually. Ooh, Chili's. Like I say, there was a lot of barriers and stuff, so I didn't think you can. But this is a nice little square area. It's got the really, really old church there. No market on today, I don't think. Look how old that clock is. The bell still works though. So this is the back of the other church. There is people coming out. Oh wow. I've never been in a church before where it's all wood. Usually made of stone, aren't they? There's the organ up there. But even all the carvings, look, all wood. That's definitely something we didn't do last time. We didn't go into that church, and I forgot it's Sunday today, so obviously that's why the organs are playing and stuff like that, and probably different services going on in the day. But I've never been into one where it's all wood, not one stone in there, piece of stone in there. That's it from the side. Oh, then again, look, there's stone down there. Looks like these buildings were attached to that church. Very old town. Hey, look at that for a piece of art. Marriott. Well, look at that. Now it's not for me, it's all seafood. It's for 2 people, 92 euros. Street gets nice and tight. Every time I think I'm going to take a different route, I keep ending up back in the same place. It's like everywhere's leading me back to this spot. So again, you've got more boat trips there. So that's 2 I've seen. One over there, one there. Oh, it's got the music playing. There you go, Honfleur. I'm going to head back to the van. I've spent around 2 hours walking around. So I need to chill out now. Make my decision if I'm staying tomorrow. I think I'll probably move on. I don't see the point because I've seen enough of it, and I've got more things to see, so just trying to work out if this is all old equipment. I think it's still used. The boat's pulled alongside there, so all the netting and everything for the fish. Quite a bit of it here. I suppose it's a place where they sort it all out and make sure the nets are all good and stuff like that. And again, some of them look like they've had their time of day. So we're nearly back to the motorhome. That's just over there. But I was going to look at this estuary here. I've never really looked at that before now either. And you've got like benches here, so you can sit out here with a nice picnic if you wish. Looks like a nice area. It's even got a slipway, look. Slipway that's giving way. Oh, while we're here, you can see in the distance actually the Normandy Bridge. It's something I didn't want to cross today, not in the van, just in case it was really windy here as well. But actually it's calm, it's peaceful. There's a little bit of wind, but amazing. I wonder if you can get into the air from here, because then that'd be a nice walk through this way instead of going out on the roads over there. You just keep walking down there straight in. But it does look like you can get into the air, which means you can come out here, like I said, and have a picnic and everything. Right opposite the estuary. It's funny, you come back to a place for the second time and you still find new things or see new things, like inside that church or this bit here. So there's the camper car park, or it's the aire de camping car actually, that one. But there is one more thing I wanted to show you, and keeping in line with what I've been looking at. Actually, it's just about to rain. It's actually the bunker. All over France, all over Europe, there's always evidence of the war. And just opposite, so Ruby's literally there. And as I look through my window, there's this reminder of the war. Now, I think this is the last remaining bunker within Honfleur. That was there, what does that say, 1939 to 1945. And maybe that was a gun turret. Hey, you know, I said I couldn't get in the bunker at the at Juno. Maybe I can get in this one. Now, it is a bunker you can go in and see. It's €4, but €4 cash. Right, well, I think the bunker is a museum. So yes, you've got the entrance dedicated to the minesweepers. You've got Room Albert, English paratrooper, liberator of Honfleur, Jim Corbett. Right, and it sort of gives the location of it. But yeah, wow. So I've got into a museum today. Oh, it's nice and light in here as well. Look at that for an old phone. So this must have been restoration work they were doing on it, and basically brought it back up to what it is today, I suppose. I wonder if they're like air vents. You have to have air in here. I mean, it's only a small museum, but I think this is the last sort of thing they've got in Honfleur. That must be the French uniform. I literally just thought it was this, and then it ain't. It keeps going through. Look at these old handcuffs. French resistance. Now you sort of have to be careful not to miss anything. They've got plenty in here. €4. It's pretty good. So this must be Jim Corbett then. So this room contains British equipment. But yeah, so that must be his stuff. And there he is there. Wow, look at that. That's a shell, or was. The size of that. Ah, this must be like an old room. Ah, you can play the film. All the decor from back then. Yeah, it looks like part of a plane. It must be. Yeah, sort of circled the part it was. Load of model planes and tanks and trucks, etc. Look how thick these walls are. And you can see, yeah, so there's an air hole going through. I'm not sure what the pipes were for. If it's an air hole or more. And that is just another way out. That was a really good find, actually. I didn't think there'd be anything left in Honfleur, and we didn't see it last time, so we totally missed that. So I'm quite happy that I found the only bunker left. And yeah, it's quite a structure really, isn't it? But right onto the harbour area here. So I'm going to leave this one here because tomorrow I'm off to the Somme River, an area down there. and take a little look around their village and everything that's got to offer on that one. So come along with me on that. I would like to say thanks to everyone that supports the channel, everyone that subscribes, and we will catch you, or I will catch you on the next one. Until then, bye.